Welcome to Shaolia! Shaolia is a 2 to 4 player game where you will grow your kingdom with countless possibilities and smash your opponents. Over the next 14 minutes of this video, we are going to show you how to play Shaolia. First, decide which game mode to play. Shaolia offers 8 different game modes, so the setup and rules can vary slightly between them. Since the 2-player game mode is the core of Shaolia, we recommend to try the 3 or 4-player game modes after you get used to the 2-player game rules. If it is your first game, we also recommend starting with the game mode, Warring States. This video will be based on the Warring States game mode as well, so if you play different game modes, please refer to the rulebook first. Game setup. Each player has one territory board placed in front of them. Place 2 locked space cards on your territory board, one in the front row and one in the back row as shown, and place a culture score tracker on 0 of the culture score gauge. Position the trading board on the table and place the trading post tiles on the empty slots according to the game mode you've chosen. Shuffle all 48 level 1 cards and place the deck face down. Prepare the level 2 cards according to the game mode you've chosen. Shuffle them and place the deck face down. Draw 3 cards from the level 2 card deck and place them side by side, face up to make a level 2 drafting pool. Leave some space here for the discard pile. Position the gold, mineral, officer, damage counter, status tokens, and extra dice in the middle of the table. Each player takes 3 dice and 2 player aids and places them front and back. Each player takes their starting resources according to the game mode you've chosen. Finally, the first player takes the first player marker and places it near the territory board. The most regal looking or more fashionable player becomes the first player. Okay, game setup is done. Let's kill each other! Now we're into gameplay. There are 2 ways to win in Shaolia. You can either deal 12 damage to your opponent's palace and destroy it, or achieve a culture score of 18. If any player destroys their opponent's palace or gains 18 culture points, the game is finished immediately. The game is played through multiple rounds and each round consists of 3 different phases. We will start with the purchase phase. During the purchase phase, you can purchase 4 different things. You can buy level 1 cards, level 2 cards, extra dice, and officers. Level 1 cards are basic cards that you can build on your territory. You have to pay 1 gold to get a level 1 card from the level 1 card deck. In Shaolia, everything except character cards is open information for all players. Place purchase cards on the table near the territory board, face up to form a hand. Well, technically it's not a hand since it's on the table, it's more of a table, but we'll just call it a hand. The second thing you can get is level 2 cards. Level 2 cards are advanced cards that you can build on your territory. Level 2 cards will be at the core of your strategy, so it is very important to make the right decision while purchasing. You have to discard 3 cards from your hand to get a level 2 card from the level 2 drafting pool. After purchasing a level 2 card, draw a card from the level 2 card deck to refill the drafting pool again. Now, if you don't like any of the cards in the drafting pool, you kind of hate them, you can pay 1 gold to discard all of them in the drafting pool and draw 3 new cards to form a new one. The third thing you could buy is extra dice. Basically, you can use 3 dice to activate your cards in a regular round, but you can purchase an extra die for 4 gold. Each extra die can only be used once and must be used during the next action phase. The last thing you can buy during the purchase phase is officers. You can pay 1 mineral to get 2 officers. Officers adjust the number on any die by 1, positively or negatively. If you roll a 6 on one die, you can spend an officer to change the 6 to either a 1 or a 5. If you use 2 officers, you can change the rolled 6 to either a 2 or a 4. Basically, during the purchase phase, you can buy these 4 things. You can purchase as many as you want if you have the resources, but there is a hand size limit of 8, level 1 and level 2 cards combined. So at the end of each purchase phase, players must discard cards until they meet the hand size limit of 8. But character cards are not included in the hand limit. Now we're going to the building phase. You'll build the purchase cards on your territory board. To build a card, you have to pay the building cost and place the card on your board. Most level 2 cards have a building condition written on the upper left side of the card. You must have at least one of the stated cards built on your territory to build the level 2 card. If you need more space to build, you can pay 3 gold now and remove 1 locked space card from your territory board. Also, you can remove a constructed card from your territory and place it in the discard pile at no cost. Destroy your own buildings, it's great! But you can't move them to another space, so think carefully before you build. And now, onto the action phase! Who doesn't like a little action? During each action phase, you'll roll 3 dice and activate card abilities with the roll's result. If you have bought some extra dice during the purchase phase, you can use more dice! Each card has an action command, and you need the matching die to activate each ability. If you use a die number 5, for example, you can activate the blacksmith ability to get 1 mineral. And there are some very important rules here. Rule number 1! Every card can be activated only once during a single action phase. Even for cards with multiple abilities, only one ability can be activated during the same action phase. Remember that. Number 2! Each territory board has a palace on it, and the palace has 3 basic abilities. You can use these abilities anytime you want. The palace has an any command which can be activated with any die number. Unlike the cards, the palace's 3 basic abilities can be activated at the same time during the same turn. So even if you don't have any cards built on your territory, you can at least get 4 gold and 2 officers from your palace every turn. But again, activating the same action command multiple times during the same turn is not possible. Rule number 3! You should use each die one by one. Apply an effect of a die completely and then use the next one. Therefore, you can spend the first die to gain 2 officers and use the officers immediately to adjust the number of the second die. Whoa! Now that's it for phases. Ugh. Now let's check out the round order. The game starts with the first player's purchase phase. After the first player finishes purchasing, the next player's purchase phase begins. After each player completes their purchase phase, the first player's building phase begins. After each player finishes their purchase, building, and action phase in turn, the round is finished and the first player changes. The first player markers move to the new first player and the next round begins with a new purchase phase. The first player turn order is so important to strategy, so always keep in mind when you are making a building or action decision. Now let's talk about the cards. As I explained earlier, there are level 1 and level 2 cards that you can build on your territory. There are also special kinds of level 2 cards called Wonder Cards! Wonder Cards have very powerful abilities and higher building costs. They are shuffled into the level 2 card deck. And now we're going into the card action commands. Every level 1 and level 2 card has an action command. There are 4 kinds of commands. First, the normal command can be activated by spending 1 matching die. That's simple enough. Second, the any command can be activated with any rolled number. Third, the combo command needs 2 dice at the same time to activate, but this is a very powerful effect. Finally, the passive ability is stated by the P command, and you can benefit from the passive ability without any dice. Now here are some very important things to know. The word activate is only used when dice are used to trigger an ability. Even if you benefit from a card's passive ability, that doesn't mean that the card has been activated. Therefore, you can benefit from the wall's passive ability and also activate the card through a normal action command during the same turn. The bank gains 2 gold when a card to the left or right activates, but when a card next to the bank triggers its passive ability, that doesn't mean that the card has been activated, and you cannot gain 2 gold from the bank. Let's get into card classification, shall we? Depending on their abilities, level 1 cards and level 2 cards in Xaldea can be classified into 6 different classes. The first class are gold cards, which produce gold, the basic resource of the game. The second are mineral cards that produce minerals, a resource used in building and trading. The third one are culture cards, which produce culture score, which is one of the 2 ways to win the game. As you acquire culture points, move the culture score tracker on the gauge. The fourth are really fun cards. They're the attack cards. They deal damage to cards or the palace on the opponent's territory. The attacking player can choose a target from the cards or the palace on an opponent's territory and deal damage by putting a matching number of damage counters on the target. If the accumulated damage is equal to or greater than the card's life, the card is destroyed and moved to the discard pile. Now what's really fun about that is the attacking player gains loot every time they destroy an opponent's card. Players gain 1 gold when they destroy a level 1 card or character card. Players gain 2 gold when they destroy an opponent's level 2 card. Every kind of attack targets 1 object in a single attack. You cannot apply leftover damage to other targets. Remember that. The next card class is defense cards. Every defense card has the must be attacked first ability. If a defense card is on a territory, attackers must destroy the defense card first. This allows players to keep other cards or their palace safe from an incoming attack. Defense cards must be built in the front row of a territory. If there are multiple defense cards on a territory, the attacking player decides which defense card to attack first. The last card class is trade cards. Using the trading board, trade cards can buy or sell various resources, cards, and tokens. For example, when the market's ability Trade Once activates, you'll choose one of the 8 trading posts on the trading board and make a deal. If you decide to make a deal with this trading post, you can sell up to 3 of your minerals for 3 gold each. Now, if you make a deal with this trading post, you can buy the level 2 cards of your choice from the discard pile. You can buy up to 2 level 2 cards, and the price for each is 3 gold. Now, status tokens. Xiaolia has various status tokens that add strategic depth to the game. Attack tokens increase attack damage by 1. If an attack token is applied to the infantry, it deals 2 damage instead of 1. Attack tokens are one-time use only, so after being activated once, the attack token will be removed from the infantry. Now, life tokens increase life by 1. If applied to a damaged card, the life token repairs the damage by 1. If applying 2 life tokens to a school with 1 damage counter on it, remove the damage counter first and apply the 1 leftover life token. Now the school has 3 life points. Moving on to the blockage token. If a blockage token is applied, the card cannot use any active ability. To remove a blockage token, players need to spend a rolled 3 die. A blockage token cannot block passive abilities though, so you can receive the benefit from a passive ability even if the card has a blockage token placed on it. The last status token is the Any Die token. If an Any Die token is applied, the action command will be changed into an Any command. Any die tokens are permanent until the card is destroyed or demolished, and cannot be applied to passive abilities. Important! Status tokens can also be placed on the palace! A maximum of 2 status tokens of the same kind can be placed on a single card or the palace. If you acquire status tokens, you have to place them on cards or the palace immediately. If you can't place them immediately, the token disappears. Once a token is placed on a card, it cannot be removed until it has been used, even after a round is finished. Now, the very last thing I'm going to explain is character cards. Character cards are secret cards that can be used as surprising variable factors during the game. Each player gets random character cards at the beginning of the game as a part of their starting resources. Unlike other cards, your character cards should be kept secret from other players. Don't tell them your characters. You can open and use your character cards at any time on your turn during any phase. There are 2 types of character cards, immediate type and build type. With immediate type character cards, you get the stated effect right away. For example, when you use this card, you will gain 2 Any Die tokens immediately. Another type of character card is the build type. This type of card has action commands and life points. Instead of getting an instant benefit, you can build these cards on your territory at no cost. They're free! Everybody loves free. If you don't like your character cards, you can sell them and gain 3 gold for each one at any time on your turn. When you sell character cards, don't show them to your opponent. And that's it! If you have any questions, please check the FAQ section from the rulebook or visit the FAQ on Xiaolia. If you still have questions, please post on our Facebook group. We will try our best to comment on and answer your post. Are you ready to jump into Xiaolia?